For 20 years, a Catholic ministry called CBIB, Compassionate Burials for Indigent Babies, has provided funerals and dignified burials for babies who die through miscarriage, stillbirth, or abortion. Lise Naccari, the founder of CBIB, was profoundly impacted as a young mother because she herself had suffered a miscarriage. Naccari says burying the tiniest of human beings is an act of obedience to the whisper of God in her heart. She started CBIB in 2002 to help a 19-year-old girl who was pregnant, unmarried, and had nowhere else to turn. The teenager's mother threatened to kick her out of the house unless she aborted her child. The desperate girl paid $900 in cash because the clinic would not take a check or credit card. The abortionist stuck a needle in the infant's heart and sent the teenager home to wait for labor to begin so that the abortion could be completed the next day. But something went terribly wrong. The woman went into labor and delivered her lifeless baby in a pool of blood. Had it not been for EMTs who responded to a panicked 911 call, the young woman would have bled to death. She underwent an emergency hysterectomy. Something beautiful emerged from the carnage. The woman could see that the baby taken from her was beautiful and fully formed. And now the scared mother, who had been told her child was nothing more than a blob of tissue, wanted to do the right thing. She wanted to bury her baby. And Lise Naccari stepped in to provide it. In the last 20 years, with the help of the Knights of Columbus and the Legion of Mary and other volunteers, CBIB has laid to rest more than 300 babies, most of them tiny, all of them precious. It gives Lise Naccari conviction and purpose.
I believe that there is a soul implanted in every baby that's conceived. And I believe that we are laying these little children to rest at whatever stage it is, and we have them at different stages. And I just believe that one day God's going to show me all these little children, and it's fulfilling to me because I just know I'm doing what God would want me to do. It gives me joy. And so it's got to be God if this gives you joy. But God is so good, and we just praise his name. I think this is what he would want. The mother was 6 months pregnant. She was 19. She thought that it was just a blob, and she went in for an abortion. And what ended up happening, the abortion clinic killed the baby and placed a lamella in her cervix and sent her home for a 2 o'clock appointment the next day. She did not make it for that long. She ended up having that baby at home. This was a 19-year-old girl who ended up delivering the baby at home in a tragic way. And when she saw that baby and saw it was not a blob, she got to see what that baby was. And she wanted a funeral for that baby. When I went up to that woman at the funeral, because we buried that baby, and when I went up to her, I put my arms around her and I told her, I am a sinner too. And I hugged her and I looked in her face and I said, God loves you.
What keeps you motivated in this?
Well, I lost a child, and it was very profound to me. And, you know, that's what keeps me going. And my own children and my grandchildren. And, you know, it just like life is precious. It really is, and beautiful, and it deserves respect.